Boy, we are living in times that are really testing our practice of our principles, are we not? And to remember that we are meant to practice these things all the time, to practice our faith, to practice our love, not just when it's easy to do so, but all of the time, knowing that sometimes it's harder than others. So I am going to share the message that I had intended to share this morning, which is part of the series that we're in right now, which is called our Summer Blockbusters. It's kind of a lighthearted, fun series, but I'll still connect it with issues taking place in the world today. And so the movie that I'm using as kind of a jumping off point for some life practices and life skills is actually the series of Indiana Jones movies. How many of you have watched the Indiana Jones movies? They're kind of fun, aren't they? I love the idea of a person being able to find their way successfully out of difficult situations. And oftentimes, even in these fictional adventure stories, we get little gems of wisdom, little gems of truth that we can use in whatever it is that we're facing in our lives, whether it's something going on in our family life or something going on health-wise for us or something going on financially. So we're going to play around a little bit with some of the ideas and comments in the Indiana Jones movies. So the first life lesson that I pull, one of the first that I pull out of Indiana Jones, is a life lesson of how important it is to know what you treasure. You know, Jesus talked about the importance of where our heart is, there will be, where our treasure is, there will be our heart. That we've got to know what it is that is important to us. What do we really value? And we can ask that in terms of our personal lives and our collective lives. Who are the people that are most important to you in your life? What are the things that are most important to you? And do you live your life based on those things? Do the people that you love, that you cherish, do they feel that? Do they know that? Do they experience that? Because no matter what, you make sure that you make time to be with them. Goethe said the things that matter most must never be at the mercy of the things that matter least. If you treasure, as I believe you do and as I do, a more loving and kind and just world, then we do choose to look at each other through the lens of the divinity in me, recognizes and calls forth and acknowledges the divinity in you. Second life lesson from Indiana Jones. He always seemed to do the right thing. I value the core concepts and teachings in the Buddhist practice. And one of the steps in the Eightfold Path of Buddhism is right action. Say that with me. Right action. Right action. It has to do with the segments of the Eightfold Path that are all about ethical living, ethical behavior. It can become so easy, can it not, when we feel as if so many around us are kind of fudging or kind of not being ethical, not doing what really is the most noble and right thing. It can become tempting to get kind of lax in our own behaviors. And yet we are the ones that pay the price when we are not a person of integrity, when we are not doing what we know is the right and ethical and moral thing to do.